Hey everyone, you're listening to the Attempt Adventure Podcast. This is the final episode of season 3 of this podcast, all about travel, finding adventure every day, and seeking out little ways to make life more interesting. From China Spring, Texas, for the last time this year, I'm Michael Desrosiers, joined as always by my co-host,
James Barrett, in Longmont, Colorado. Not for the last time this
Yeah.
year. Well, I guess it is the last time this year, but then I'll still be here next year.
You will, and I'll be here next year, but not right away. So, yeah. Guys, folks, listeners, we just want to say thank you all so much, first of all, for your subscriptions this year, for subscribing, for downloading. The podcast has grown so much. We've had as many listeners just this year as we did in our first 2 seasons alone, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's something we definitely, I don't know about you, but I didn't expect.
Yeah.
You know, we do this still. It's really for you and me.
It's to hang out.
You know, more than anything, it's to hang out. It's to talk about random stuff.
We are interested in travel. We are interested in the outdoors.
It's an excuse for Michael and I to catch up, hang out for a couple hours, and just talk.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we have like a nice structured episode. Most of the time, as you know, we don't.
Y'all, you have no idea how much I have to cut out of every episode that I edit.
It's bad. We could never do this live because we just tangent. And the fact that anyone, nevertheless, you know, quite a few people,
Yeah,
really enjoy listening is just, it's really nice. It's nice to have a little validation that
absolutely.
what we're doing isn't just boring.
Right. I also really want to thank our guests. We've had some absolute bangers
amazing
this year.
guests.
Really, really great guests. It'll be hard to top some of them for next year. I don't know what we're going to do, James.
We're going to run out of guests at some point, and then it's just going to be you and I. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, we know you guys are only here for Mike Keene. Don't lie.
That's true. I'm only here for Mike Keene.
No, but it's been a great year, James. It's been a really great year, a really great season. And folks, we are excited to say that we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up again next year.
Yes.
We are having not just 1 season of the podcast, but 2. It's going to be something a little bit different.
Dos. Du. I don't know many of them. Zwei. That's the only languages I know. Anyway.
We are really excited to talk to you a little bit about what's coming up next year. And also, we're just kind of hanging out today. We're hanging out. We're talking. We're seeing what's going on. We're just chatting. So we'll be talking about what's coming on next year. First, James, do you have anything that you'd just like to talk about before we get into it? Any highlights of the year?
Moving was great. Well, moving itself wasn't great. Moving sucks. But happy to be back in the Centennial State. I got in shape. That was fun. Yeah, overall, it's been a pretty good year. Yeah. Not so great on the like making money part.
Yeah.
But pretty good other than that. My life's pretty good. What about you, Michael?
I had some highlights this year. I mean, obviously, finally having my wedding was definitely a highlight. I would say that in the travel and adventure side, going on that adventure with Carl early this year, climbing the mountain was a highlight, except for the part where I got arrested in the jungle by armed men.
Not everything type 2 fun.
Yeah, right. That was definitely a highlight of the year. Going to the Red Lotus Lake back in February was a highlight. Glamping in Kanchanaburi was definitely a highlight. And being home for Christmas. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been, how long? 2019?
2019, yeah, because after that it was COVID and it was hard for me to get back here. And then last year I was home in September after my grandmother passed. I was here for the funeral, and it's like, I'm not going to be here in October and then just like turn around and come back at like late November.
Right.
So I just didn't come back for Christmas last year.
You know, it's great to have you in the States, even though we may or may not cross paths this year.
Yeah.
That's okay. Overall, I'd say for us, it's been a good year.
It really has been. Great year podcast-wise, great year personally, great year adventure-wise, and next year is going to be awesome as well. James, do you have any travel adventure-y resolutions for next year?
Resolutions. I feel like I say this kind of every year. I really just need to get out more. It's tough for me just on the monetary standpoint. Things like gas and time and all these other things come into play. But it's really just to sort of find new places is my kind of goal. Okay. So I kind of go to the same places all the time, and they're great. But after a certain point, it's kind of like, oh, what's the point? You know, you've been there a million times. And so just find new places. I want to cook a lot more this year. I want to make new foods, new recipes. But yeah, so just sort of enjoy life more and explore my area. That's really it for me. I'm trying to not be too narrow.
Yeah, last couple of years I had really narrow, like I really wanted to climb Mount Fuji. I was like, climb Mount Fuji, go to a country I've never been to, another new country
Yeah.
I've never been to, which I guess I did. I went to Istanbul for like a couple days, so Turkey, check that off. But I had like real specific things I wanted to do, and I didn't really get them all. So yeah, I want to go camping more. I'm going to go camping a couple times in Thailand. I camped a few days this year, not as much as I'd like to. So I want to go camping more. I'm like you. I'm not trying to make too many hard and fast resolutions, but I just want to have a bit more of an adventurous life. The last couple of months, I let myself get a little bit stagnant. So I'm not liking that. So I'm going to try to get out a little bit more again and see what's going on.
It's hard,
Can be, yeah.
That's great. I know you have some exciting stuff coming up.
That's right. Well, James, let's talk about that. And we can tell our listeners what's coming up this year as well. So, folks, in 2024, we will have not just one season of the Attempt Adventure podcast, but two, and they're going to be very different. So the first season is going to be starting right away in January, and it's probably going to run through April. It's going to be a mini adventure special. It's going to be a little bit different from what we're doing now. In March, I'm going to Sri Lanka with my mother and my little brother, and we are going to be racing a rickshaw across the country. We're going to be joining the Rickshaw Run, Sri Lanka, for a 6-day tuk-tuk race. We don't know how to drive a rickshaw. We don't know anything about Sri Lanka. We've been preparing for it, but not very much. I genuinely, James, have no idea how I convinced my mother to do this with me.
I don't know either. It's impressive.
Yeah. So we've been raising money for charity. Actually, we've been raising money. That's the whole point. So the rickshaw run is put on by the adventurists. They're the ones that do the Mongol rally as well. The goal is to raise money for charity. So we had to raise about 500 British pounds, which is about $600 for Cool Earth. That's a charity that fights climate change and deforestation by economically empowering indigenous communities in the rainforest. And we hit that goal already, which is great. Our next goal, after we hit that first goal, we get to choose an organization of our choice. And we want to donate the remainder of whatever funds we raise from now on are going to go to elephant rescues in Thailand. This is something we've talked a little bit about, but something I think a lot of people don't know. When they go to Thailand and they go to an elephant camp or something like that, or they see an elephant perform, people think, oh, it's so cute. It's great. Look at those elephants. They're having a great life, but they're not. Elephants that are performing, elephants that are part of the tourism industry, anywhere where you can ride elephants, these are not good places.
Right.
The way that they train them is very cruel. The conditions that they live in are very cruel. So we're going to be donating whatever else we raise before we go in March to an organization that rescues elephants from the tourism industry and the logging industry, and it gives them a natural place to live in Thailand. And it protects them, as well as elephants that have been injured. We were actually up there in Chiang Mai at their park about a year ago, and there was one elephant there who had stepped on a landmine, and she was wearing a prosthetic, and so they do stuff like that as well. It's really important, and it's something that kind of gets overlooked a little bit because people just think, oh, elephants, they're so cute, they're so fun, but there's a dark side to that. So that's what we're going to be donating our money to as well. So folks, if you do want to donate anything, you can check out our link. We have a GoFundMe. To make it more fun, we have gifts for you guys. If you do want to donate, for example, if you donate $10, you get to be a sponsor of the next season of the podcast. We'll read your name in each episode during season 4. We'll send you a postcard. We'll write your name on our shirt, and we'll even send you a shirt if you're a big donor. So we're doing that. And we've got little challenges that we're doing. So, for example, we've already raised $500. So we promised that we would learn and sing a Sri Lankan song. So that's going to be very embarrassing, but we're going to work on that as soon as my brother gets in town. If we can raise like $90 more, we're doing something while we're in Sri Lanka called the Comfort Zone Challenge. So my mom is going to take a martial arts class. My brother is going to take a dance class, and I'm going to put my fate in their hands and just let them choose every meal that I eat.
Oh boy.
And if we can raise $1,000, like 300 and whatever more dollars, Kyle and I are both going to dye our hair purple when we go there.
Nice.
So that's what we've got coming up. So it's going to be crazy. We don't know anything about Sri Lanka. Don't know how to drive a tuk-tuk. Nothing like that. So anyway, folks, the point of that is we're going to be live recording the adventure. I'm going to be recording the adventure and turning it into a probably 10-episode mini-series coming out in March and April for season 4. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So do check back here and follow us. It's going to be pretty wacky.
I'm excited to see it.
If it goes really well, James, maybe we can do another adventurous thing in the future. There's one called the Monkey Run, where you get a tiny little motorbike and you have to cross either Morocco or Peru. Both would be fun.
Yeah, that both sounds fun. Well, that'll be great.
Yeah, so that's season 4. And then season 5 is going to be the podcast again, as you know and love it. Me and James sitting here talking about
stuff.
What are your thoughts about season 5, James?
I'm excited. I think we've really kind of hit a stride that works for us. We finally figured out our sort of scheduling. We've figured out mostly how to have a more cohesive product.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I feel like we're really improving.
But yeah, so what about you? Are you looking forward to anything, obviously, other than the rickshaw run?
Well, the rickshaw run's going to be great. I don't really have any big plans coming up besides that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know when I'll be back in the US. I plan to at some point next year. I did like coming back for Christmas. It's fun to be here in the summer. It's fun to be here in Christmas time. I don't know. I'm going to have to decide.
Very
But
different
very different.
experiences.
Yeah. Gosh, but I don't really have anything big. You and I have been talking about a second sort of media stream that we might work on.
Yeah.
We'll kind of keep that secret for now, but that could be fun.
Yeah, just some new forms of content.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little more about the rickshaw run.
Okay.
What all have you been doing to prepare? What do you have to do?
Honestly, James, okay, so first of all, let me tell you, we don't know what we're doing. All right. And they don't give you much information.
That's
We
the
don't even
best
know.
part.
I mean, the point is, we don't even know our route. We know generally where we're starting and we're going somewhere in the South. They're not going to tell us until like close to time because they don't want us to plan much in advance. So we can't
Okay.
prepare for that. We need to fit 3 people's luggage in the back of a rickshaw, which is going to be insane. So we're barely even like packing anything. We're barely even preparing for that. The closer we're getting to time, we're like, how are we going to do this? Rickshaws apparently break down all the time. We're going to have to learn how to fix it, much less how to drive it. I mean, they're manual transmission, but they're also rickshaws. It's not just like a stick shift, which I can't drive anyway. My mom can, but it's not like that. It's like a motorcycle, which I don't think hopefully will be too hard with the clutch on the handle, you know?
Yeah, hopefully. Okay.
But we've been trying to work on some of the just logistical stuff. So, like, haven't got the visa yet. That's something we need to work on. But yesterday we went to Fort Worth to get our international driver's permits because that's required,
Very
which
nice.
you can get at AAA if you're in the US. This is a document from the Geneva Convention of 1949. It's basically just a legal standardized. Every country standardizes this form. It's just a translation of your driver's license into other languages is all it is. But we have to have this to be able to drive in Sri Lanka. And there's no AAA office in Waco. The closest we're up in DFW or in Austin. So we had to do a
Little day trip.
day trip. Yeah. My brother's not done it yet. And James, between you and me, he has the worst driving record of the 3 of us. So like, I'm not going to be
No.
too beat up about it if he doesn't end up getting his driver's permit. We did that. We got a Lonely Planet guide.
Smart. Very smart.
And then I've been working on travel insurance, which is
Hmm.
also required and also just important.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest, James, I didn't used to bother with travel insurance. It's required for the rickshaw run. Like we need to have it. So it's a moot point whether I would bother with it or not. But I didn't used to. Like, have you ever gotten travel insurance when you've traveled
No,
abroad? Yeah.
never.
I never did either. But then do you remember a couple of years ago when I stepped on that nail at
Yes.
what was it, Guadalupe River State Park here in Texas? I stepped on a nail while camping. My wife always gets travel insurance. And fortunately, that was the time that she and I were traveling together. And so she made me get it too, because I had to go to the minor emergency clinic. I had to get an x-ray to make sure there was no like rusted metal stuck in my foot, and they had to like bandage it, had to get a tetanus shot. I shudder to think what that would have cost if I didn't have insurance at a
Oh, it would have been awful.
private clinic like that in here in the US. Would have been terrible.
So that I know that sort of definitely changed your mind.
Yes, it did. After that, I've always traveled with it. And then it's become a habit now because during COVID, like if I wanted to go to Cambodia, which I had to for my visas, they required it.
Hmm.
And so I just looked around and I found Safety Wing. I've always had great experiences with them. They make it super easy. You just put in your name and your age and where you're from. You tell them what countries you're going to. And if you're going for 2 days, you can get a plan for 2 days. If you're going for a month, you
Oh,
get a plan
nice.
for a month. And it'll just adjust the price accordingly. It's easy. You can do it like that. So Safety Wing, I think they're great. I've used them. I've fortunately never actually had to submit a claim because I haven't been injured since
Right.
then. But yeah, I think I'm always going to use them. So I was looking at it, and for the 3 of us, it's not bad at all. It's just like around $150 for about 2 weeks in Sri Lanka for 3 of us. Really reasonable. And it just, it gives you that peace of mind. It's not just for injury either. It's for, illness, of course, but also like if
Hmm.
your bags get lost or if your flight gets delayed.
Yeah, and it's something that I've never bothered with, but any issue that I luckily have not had hardly any issues when traveling.
Yeah.
But it's things like I had my flight out of China got canceled.
Yeah.
I would not have known what to do.
Right. Or, you know, what about that time that you got food poisoning on that
I
island?
did. I
I
got
bet it'd be nice if you could
sick
have just gone to the local clinic and had them
and
treat
got a
you.
medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. So going forward, it's definitely something that I'm going to do.
Folks, welcome to insurance talk with with Michael and James. But like, it's important. You know, this is a good tip for travelers. Just get travel insurance. It is worth it. And you know what I like about Safety Wing is they also cover you in your home country. This wouldn't apply to you, but like for an expat, they cover you in your home country for some short period of time. It's like 15 days or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Um, so if you are an expat or like a digital nomad or something like that, and you're traveling back to your home country, you'll be covered for some period of time during visits home as well.
Well, that's really awesome
Yeah.
because most don't, I don't think.
Yeah. So we've done that logistically. We don't have flights yet. The thing is, we can't book hotels yet because we don't even know our route because we don't even know our destination.
Might be sleeping in the rickshaw.
Ugh, my mother would kill me.
You're we'll see. We'll see if your mom ever visits you again.
We're all going to get so mad at each other.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be great. And it'll be a bonding experience for the three of us. My sister is
Oh
in
yeah.
denial. She truly doesn't, she thinks we're joking. When my brother and I mentioned it, my mom wasn't there, but when we told her about it, she was like, no. She thought Kyle and I were just like messing with her. And
Hmm.
it took like my mom actually confirming until she believed that we were doing it because it's just something so out of the ordinary for us.
Yeah, it's so random.
It is.
When you mentioned it first, you're like, I think we want to do this. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't think you were actually gonna do it.
I didn't either. I just brought it up. And it's been over a year that we've been talking about it. I just brought it up and I was like, hey guys, let's do this. And
And they were like, okay.
I don't know how that happened.
Kyle makes sense.
Kyle makes sense. I think it was the right time to bring it up because it was after. So my elderly grandmother was living with my mom, and it was really hard, especially in the last year. Really hard caring for her. Took a lot of her energy and just like mental
Hmm.
energy and emotional energy and everything like that. And after she passed, I think mom just wanted to do something different, get out and have an adventure, right?
Yep.
So I think when I brought it up on a whim was just at the right moment. And I
Yeah.
think she's more nervous now as the date is approaching. Today we're 90 days out from launch day.
Yeah. And so as it gets closer, it's more like a what did I agree to kind of thing.
But I'm trying to reassure them both because Kyle's also a little bit nervous about it. I'm trying to reassure them both. It's going to be fine. You know, people do this. I actually talked to Scott Gurian, who was on the show a while back, and I'm going to have him
Hmm.
on an episode next season. He did the Mongol rally, and he said there were older people doing the Mongol rally, and there you like it's like 6 weeks. You drive from London to Mongolia, guys. It's 6 days. You know, I'm like everyone drives a tuk-tuk there. The parts will be easy to find. People will know how to fix it if it breaks down. But apparently, there's number one. There's no. I think there's no fuel gauge, and I think there's no speedometer either. So it's like,
Oh, you could bring. They have those you can like attach to like bikes.
oh, like a bike computer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
They
I could
make
do
like a
that.
cheap one. You could at least tell how fast you're going. As for fuel, no idea.
Yeah, okay, I could do that. But otherwise, what to prepare, I don't know because we are super limited on space. Don't know where we're going to sleep. Don't know what we're going to eat. Don't know what we're going to see.
I feel like you should bring a tent.
I mean,
I mean, just in case.
as we get closer to time, I'm realizing how little I actually know about Sri Lanka.
Like it's like the jungle, right?
I think so.
It's like being in the
I think it
jungle.
is. I think it is, James. I don't know. Um,
Bring mosquito net. I
which
don't
is
know,
also a
man.
point. We're gonna have to go another logistic thing. We're gonna have to go like go to a travel clinic and see what like vaccines we need. I don't know. Like
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to go shopping.
I'm fully vaccinated for all the weird tropical diseases. I mean, I'm vaccinated against like Japanese encephalitis and rabies and stuff like that, but my family's not.
This will be interesting.
It will be. And so hopefully everyone it'll be interesting for you too because I will be recording the whole thing and hopefully filming some of it as well for this
Oh yeah, I
podcast.
mean, boy, I am. That's gonna be great.
You know, it's going to be an experience in getting out of our comfort zone. I hope
Oh
it's going to be
yeah,
a fun family bonding experience.
it will be a bonding experience. Whether it's fun, I think the first 2 days will be fun.
And after we get back, we're going to be like, that was the best thing we've ever done.
Yeah,
But the 4 days in between those 2 points are going to be
because
miserable.
like you, oh man, I'm just thinking about like your mom and brother, because your mom and brother are coming from the United States,
Yeah.
and you're coming from way closer, so they not only have to deal with jet lag and everything else, you're going to be driving for a day.
and they drive on the left, and we don't know how to drive a motorcycle slash tuk-tuk, and it's manual transmission, and they only go like 20 miles an hour, and they break down a lot, and there's no doors or windows. Or there's doors, but they're like open. Like I said, there's no fuel gauge, so we'll probably just run out of fuel randomly.
Oh boy.
There's one day of driving class, and there's one day of like basic mechanics class of how to fix it before you go, and that's all the support that the adventurers give you. After that, they're like, I'll see you at the finish line.
Okay, but I mean, I think that day of driving will be fine. I think
that'll be helpful.
In the mechanics thing, most of it is pretty simple.
Yeah, they give you a pack of tools, and it was like 6 wrenches of different sizes, and they're like, "Here's your toolkit."
Yeah. You're like, yeah, it's like if you like throw a belt or something, that'll be bad. But anyway, that's a problem for if and when it happens.
Future Michael. Oh, it's gonna happen, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, but I'm excited for that. That will
be
the arguably the most adventurous thing you've ever done.
Definitely, and the fact that I'm bringing my family with me is going to be crazy. And we all operate on different time frames, if that makes sense. I'm a very punctual person. If I say let's leave at 8, we're on the road at 8.
Oh yeah,
that's me. My brother is absolutely not. If he says let's go at 8, he'll be like getting ready to go at like 8:45. I do not like traveling with him because of that. So it's also going to be like I said, a family experience.
I'm the same way. I'm very much like, if I say we're leaving at 8, I really mean 7. I'm ready to go at like 7:30. Like,
same. Exactly.
I'm ready to go.
Same, James.
And so it's like any minute after it, like 8 o'clock, I'm like mad.
Yeah. Yes, that my brother also has like a grooming routine that is more important to him than mine is to me. Like, I'm not like a slob, but like if I'm like in a rickshaw, I'm not going to be like limping before. My mother's toiletries, and they take up an entire bag. It's going to take up our whole.
Oh boy.
I don't know how we're going to do this. It's going to be fun. It'll be great, guys. Follow back here. Go to teammamasboys.com, folks. You can see our blog that we've started where we're going to be documenting the adventures. We'll also document them here, of course, and in audio form.
What's it called? Team
Mamas Boys. So that's our team name, is Team Mamas Boys. So teammamasboys.com. You can find us there. Yeah, folks, if you want to donate, it'd be great. And again, 100% of donations are for charity. None of them go to us or our travel expenses. We paid that ourselves. It's all to charity. So whatever you donate, we will actually give directly to the Elephant Rescue Organization.
Well, that's awesome.
That's what's coming up in season 4. Season 5 will be back to normal, but I think we'll have some time because I imagine I'll be recording in March. I imagine we'll have the episodes coming out like April, May. So maybe season 5, which is going to be a little shorter, will start in the summer. But James, you and I will be recording ahead of that. So we're going to be getting ahead of the release schedule with some great. In fact, we're probably going to be starting recording in January, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, and we'll have the whole thing ready to go.
Yes. So that way we can take some time off if we need to. We'll be recording in advance. So
I would imagine you'll need some time off to prepare for the run and
to decompress afterwards.
Yes, you're not going to want to jump right back into it.
Yeah. Recover from like dengue fever or whatever I contract.
Whatever you end up getting.
Yeah. It'll be great. Season 5 is going to be fun. We'll have some good guests. We'll do some fun stuff like that. We need to talk about if we want to bring back the monthly challenge or if we want to rework the Wheel of Penalty, spin the Wheel of Penalty every month, something like that. We can decide what we want to do, James. We can see.
Yeah. Well, there will be some changes going forward. Nothing major really, besides just getting better. But
I'd like to have some merchandise this year.
Yeah.
Some shirts, some hats, some beanies. That'd be cool.
Yeah. If anybody has ideas out there, please let us know. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know if you have an idea for a segment, because sometimes, like, we love adventures in the news, but sometimes it's hard to find a good one. Do you have a new segment idea? Let us know.
Also, hey guys, we're looking for like a producer. Number one, definitely we'd love a producer if you want to join our team. Also like a social media manager. Now, full disclosure, until we make money from this podcast, we can't pay. Okay. It would be for your portfolio because we're not making money. We're actually making negative money. We're making negative like $19 a month by doing this show.
If that interests you.
If you're a great producer or great social media manager and you could help us grow the show to the point where we make a profit, you would definitely get a salary. But it's a volunteer position is what I'm trying to say. But if you want to join, if you like what we do and you just like to help us out, please get in touch. We'd definitely talk to you.
Oh, yeah. Because we are bad at it.
Very bad, especially the social media management.
Oh, man. I'm just bad at social media in general. We'll see. But yeah, get in touch. beyond that, I'm just excited. I'm excited for 2024. Let's see what it brings. We're gonna have some interesting stuff, what with the rickshaw run and anything else that we get up to.
Like redacted.
Maybe we'll see.
James knows what I'm talking about.
I do. You guys don't know nothing about none of that.
But yeah, thanks as usual for listening, guys. It really means a lot. Happy holidays to everyone.
Yes.
Whatever holiday, whether it's solstice, Christmas, Saturnalia, whatever.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year, folks. Hey, if you have a good adventure resolution, write in. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Stay tuned next year, coming very soon. You can start listening to the episodes about us preparing for the rickshaw run as early as January. We'll have episodes coming out in January about that. So from January until probably May, 2 days of preparation, 6 days on the road, the day, like the after party, and then probably an episode or two of us wrapping up and talking about it. So you've got like at least minimum 10 episodes coming up about us in Sri Lanka. So it'll be a little different, but I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, I know I will.
Awesome. I'm not sure I will, but we'll see.
You will later.
No, I will. I'm the most excited about it than of everybody.
I know you are. Everyone else is now thinking like, what did I agree to? And you're like, this is great.
I am 100% on board. I need this so bad, James. You have no idea how much I needed adventure in my life right now. Oh, man.
Well, I'm excited for you.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, so yeah, stay tuned for all that. And yeah, I guess until next year.
Keep adventuring.